Hey, welcome back. Glad you made it back. I'm the greatest love. You can just call me Ty because my name's Tyree, but it's not spelled Tyree. I'll tell you about that later. Just call me Ty for now. But today I'm going to be sharing how I ended up in a polyamorous relationship. So, first, I'll start off by explaining what polyamory is. So, someone who is polyamorous believes that they can and should be allowed to date or be with multiple people, whether that is just a intimate romantic relationship with that person, or even sometimes you may include sex, but it doesn't have to be a sexualized relationship. When you're in a polyamorous relationship, it's agreed upon by all members who are participating, so everyone's consent is involved. For me, the way that my relationship is there is myself, my husband, and my wife. Pretty much growing up, I didn't know what polyamory was. I didn't know that it was a thing. I lived a pretty sheltered life, I could say. I did know probably by sixth grade that I was attracted to the same sex. I didn't think that I was gay or anything. Really, I didn't really even understand or know what being gay was until I got to high school and started to see my peers who were more comfortable with themselves, had the confidence to truly be who they were. By 12th grade, I had came out to my parents and told them that I had a girlfriend. That conversation went easier than I expected it to. My dad claims he already knew. And my mom was just like, great, can't get pregnant. So that was that. Yeah, so I had probably started like flirting and going on all the wrong ways about trying to find a girlfriend or figure myself out. I didn't I've never really liked labels. I've never really liked to say I'm this or that. What I did tell my parents at the time was I still like guys, but right now I am dating girls. I guess haven't found the guy that makes me just want to be with him. But right now I am, I guess, talking to a girl that has my complete attention, focus, or whatnot. So I pretty much dated just girls from 12th grade till I got to college. And even then, I wasn't completely being honest with myself, and I wasn't being the best girlfriend to the girls that I was dating. Hi, you can come out here. So while I was in college, I pretty much went through a breakup, was able to start finding myself, start realizing what I wanted out of a relationship, how I wanted to be treated, and realizing as well, like the things that I was doing, to contribute to a relationship not working out. Pretty much freshman year, I was kind of like chasing an ex. I know when you look back on it, you're like, what the fuck was I doing? But yeah, that was freshman year of college. By sophomore year, I was like trying to figure out who I was. Starting to do more things, explore more things, and I ended up meeting the guy who is now my husband. We met through mutual friends in college. Actually, His ex was a friend of mine in college, and we met through her, but they weren't together at the time. They were already exes. Let me make that clear. They were already exes. But she introduced me to her ex, and we pretty much started chilling, hanging out, Netflix and chilling, and he was really like a really good friend. We did everything that I like to do. He came to campus every week to see me and spend time with me. And for a while, I was in denial about the fact that I liked him. He was the first guy that really I had started seeing after dating girls. So I was like, nah, I don't, nah. But my roommate at the time was like, Ty, why is he over here all the time? Like, you like him. I got to thinking, I was like, he is over here a lot. I guess I do like him. So we figured that out. Turned out, I guess I was the only one in denial. He was like, well, duh. So we became a thing. And when we started dating, there were things that he already knew about me. He already knew that I liked girls. He already knew that he was the first guy that I had dated in a while. And he wasn't intimidated by that. He didn't try to change who I was. And one thing that I learned about him was at the time he didn't believe in marriage, or he didn't believe in the type of marriage that both he and I were raised in. And so often there would be times where, he and I discuss like having a polyamorous relationship. And there would be times where I would make it clear, where I would tell him, like, well, what I wouldn't be okay with is you have a whole nother person you're dating, and I'm not dating that person too. So we had already pretty much made it like set ground rules on what we wanted, what we would tolerate, and how we would, I guess, go about things. And turns out, probably 2 years later, after having this conversation, we ended up dating together, and it actually wasn't planned. I ended up going to Italy for about 5 weeks. While I was in Italy, I did a lot of thinking, and I was just like, I think I'm ready to take the next step in our relationship. I was missing my boyfriend heavily, like, I was missing him a lot. But I was also missing another type of love that I hadn't, gotten in a while. So I come back to the United States, and literally probably like a month and a half goes by, and I'm back home in the States, and my boyfriend happens to buy a painting by an artist. And this painting was a portrait of himself, that she painted for him. She was doing customs or whatnot, and he bought a painting of himself from her. So I get home from work one day, and he's like, yeah, I bought this painting, it's ready. She stays in Stone Mountain. I'm about to drive and go get it. Do you want to come? I was like, yeah, I'm down for the ride, whatnot. So we stayed in South Atlanta, so it took us about like an hour to get to where she lived. And when we got there, she invited us to her studio, and we just started talking. And either we asked her if she wanted to smoke, or she asked us if we wanted to smoke. Either way, we shared a blunt with this lady, and I remember just being in awe. Like, her art was all around, and her vibe and energy was just so contagious, and I was just soaking up every last drop of her that I could. Yeah, so she invites us into her studio. We smoke a blunt with her and we get to talking. And like I said, I'm just like soaking up all of her energy. And I'm like, where the hell did this lady come from? Where has she been all of my life? Like, swooned. And I remember when we were leaving, we got in the car and I looked at my boyfriend and I said, I like her. I think I want to see her again. Do you want to see her again? And he was like, I think I want to see her again. And so we did just that. Literally, like, probably the next day, if not maybe a day passed. We didn't give her too long. But yeah, we were pretty much inseparable from her. So yeah, to make a long story short, we met this woman together unexpectedly and fell in love with her together. And it was kind of one of those unexpected experiences that end up changing your whole life. We had our ups, we had our downs, we had time together, we had time apart. In 2018, the three of us welcomed our firstborn child into the world together. We were actually the first polyamorous family, or outed polyamorous family, to deliver a baby at that hospital. And in April 2020, we welcomed our second son into the world. So the three of us are raising two boys together in a 3-parent household. And our boys know nothing more than having two moms and a dad in their house, and that's going to be their norm. So yeah, we have our own little polyamorous, polytriad family. I wouldn't change it for anything in the world. Pretty much deciding to have a polyamorous relationship or be a part of a polyamorous relationship was at the top of the list when it comes to the hardest things that I ever had to do, because this was something that kind of jeopardized like my family still speaking to me. You know, it was so out of the norm, so out of my comfort zone. And it was pretty scary because it was just like, is this possible? Will it work? You know? And it's definitely scary when you have little support from your family. And there was pretty much no one I could go to for advice because I didn't know anyone who was polyamorous. And what I've learned now looking back is it's like, why would I take advice from people who have had failed marriages or who are in a monogamous relationship? They wouldn't see things the way that I do, you know? So yeah, I'm in a polyamorous relationship. I'm happy being with both my husband and my wife. I love the fact that my wife loves my son as if she gave birth to him and delivered him herself. I remember being pregnant and feeling him move inside me just because she was around, and they had already built such a strong bond together before he was even birthed into the world, you know. It's not easy. I mean, it is a journey. We grow and we learn together every day. We call each other out on our shit. We're there for each other, you know, when we realize we're having PTSD from our traumatic childhoods, you know. But pretty much this relationship is first putting our kids first, making sure that they have everything that they need to strive and have the best future possible. Second, it's about being inclusive. There should be more inclusivity. We should be more inclusive in the world. I'm just out here to say that polyamorous relationships can and do work. Every journey is different. Not every polyamorous relationship is like mine, you know. But yeah, I just wanted to share that with you, let you guys get to know a little bit more about me and what I'm doing at home. Love who you want. Stay true to yourself first, and all the rest will follow. If you made it this far in the video, I appreciate you. Till next time, peace.